When I see that Jessica's not in a bikini top, I was pissed.
5 most disturbing moments on Undercover Boss. In this video, we're highlighting the most disturbing moments on Undercover Boss. Some of these acts will leave you head scratching in disbelief. So let's get to it. Number 5. Hooters. We're gonna start out with the CEO of Hooters, Kobe Brooks, who desired nothing more than to go to his company and see if everything was meeting his standards.
Today I'm in South Arlington, Texas, and I'm going to be assistant general manager inside the store. The GM in the store he's the coach. He's got all of his players underneath him. He's got to make sure the entire team works good together.
Hooters has a very unique history and perception in the public space. And yet you can tell that Kobe really did want to make sure that everyone was on board and no funny business was going on. But then he met Jimbo, who was everything you wouldn't want in a manager. He was not only rude to the ladies of Hooters.
When I first came in this morning, Jimbo made it very clear that, we are about the Hooters girl.
Nail polish is nice.
He was very clear on what the brand's about, but I don't think he's clear on how the brand should be treated.
But he forced them to participate in a reindeer game if they wanted to go home early.
First girl that finishes her plate of beans will go home. You cannot use your hands, okay? So, go! Oh, get some of that. Brianna, how are they, baby? Oh, they look tasty. Who doesn't want to spend the rest of the afternoon with me?
Why? Because it was amusing to him. Well, it wasn't amusing to Kobe Brooks, and you could tell he would drop the hammer on Jimbo later.
What I saw in there just a minute ago has got me quite aggravated, so I'm going to be making a phone call to the owner of the franchise. It's Kobe. You've got a manager there in the Dallas market that the way he approached and interacted with the girls, it's really not acceptable behavior. I think it needs some immediate action.
Number 4, bikinis. How do you follow up something like that? Well, by talking about another chain that has been perceived to exploit women. CEO Doug Guller was so determined to showcase that his brand was better than expected that he literally bought a small town in Texas and renamed it Bikinis. Why? Because he could.
Like all visionaries who came before him, the owner of Bikinis is not content to rest on those laurels, so he bought a town in Texas and renamed it Bikinis.
Then he went undercover to make sure everything was being done right. But almost immediately, everything was going wrong. At one spot, the female bartenders weren't being responsible with the customers and giving them too much to drink.
This guy is pretty hammered.
He's not too bad at all.
Right now, I'm extremely upset and really concerned about the guy at the bar that's been overserved. How do you know when they've had enough?
When their head's like on the table.
On the table?
And, like, passing out.
He even threatened to jump out of character to stop it, and things didn't get better from there. In other stores, he finds out that the managers aren't doing their jobs, and that many of the workers, both male and female, aren't getting the support they need or the respect they deserve. He even has a bombshell dropped on him mid-shift at another store, when 2 of the female servers straight up quit during their shift and walked out the back.
2 of the girls that we had here decided to just get dressed and walk out the back door.
Right now.
Yeah, they're gone. So they're no longer employed with us.
Wow, I was shocked.
Naturally, Doug had some big changes to make, and he did that in his reveal segment, including firing some people due to their behavior.
I think you're a great person, but you're not right for bikinis. It was clear to me that day. So, I'm sorry, Jessica. It's not working out. Today's your last day.
I'm so mad right now.
Number 3, Foreman Mills. Next up, we have Rick Foreman, who created the Foreman Mills Company. They're a company that prides itself on not only selling lots of items, but selling them at a rate people can afford.
My name is Rick Foreman. I'm the founder and CEO of Foreman Mills. Foreman Mills can give the customer ridiculous buys on thousands and thousands of name brands.
But as he goes into the stores, he gets a bit of a reality check, both on what his stores do and what he himself can't do. First, when he was trying to do some basic things in the store via the clothes rack, his ADD couldn't let him focus due to him having so much product around him.
Most business people have ADD, so I really can't focus in there. All these items are coming at me. Can I just sweep the area?
No. Brad, you need to continue. Brad, stay over here. Brad, I need you to stay with me.
It sounds like my mom when I hear Brad.
Then when it came to the tech in the stores, like with the price checks, the store was so outdated on how it handled things that it was nearly impossible to do the job in a timely fashion.
If you get these, you have to call for a manager. Clara to customer service, please.
For just any kind of coupon?
Any kind of coupon.
What do we do?
Just stay here and wait for them to show up.
Okay, this is crazy.
After that debacle, he went to the warehouse part of the store and again met his match in the name of a forklift. Rick was so bad at driving the forklift that he was basically running into things and putting everyone else on edge.
Move it back. Watch it.
Whoa. I got it.
You sure?
Yeah. Because I'm just whoa.
It was disturbing to see how bad he was. Before we continue, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 2, Yankee Candle. Next we have Harlan Kent, the head of Yankee Candle. He makes it clear at his first role that he wants to see a focus on customer service and making sure that the feeling of the store is there, because in his mind, if they're feeling good, they're buying the product.
What I'm interested in saying here, is there a real focus on customer service? Are people having fun and are they feeling good? Because when people are feeling good, then they buy stuff.
Enter Blaze, one of the sales associates, who apparently isn't happy about working there at all. What's more, he has some harsh things to say about the customers, especially when those customers are kids. Sure enough, after a demo session with a kid, Blaze goes off and says that eventually Harlan will meet a kid who will basically wreck everything, and proceeds to showcase that.
They're gonna come up. Oh my god. They're just gonna do whatever they want. I'm gonna just go.
And then he says he gets so angry with them that he wants to hit the kids.
They'll dip it a million times, leave you a mess like this. And as bad as this comes across, sometimes I feel like punching an 8-year-old.
While Blaze didn't get fired, he absolutely got a stern talking to, and was reminded about how such thoughts and languages are better left unsaid. Hopefully he reconsidered some of his life choices after that, because would you want someone like him in your store that is allegedly all about the customers? Number 1, Diamond Resorts. Finally, we have Stephen J. Klubik of Diamond Resorts, one of the few CEOs to do not 1, but 2 episodes of the show. His first time was a failure, because his new look was anything but convincing. But the second time around, he did a more thorough disguise and made the trip to Mexico to see how his brand was doing internationally. But it wasn't that great, including his own room not being handled well. And when he calls in housekeeping to talk about it, he's informed that they're pretty much all talk but no action.
I give them feedback from what guests like you tell me.
Right.
I keep telling them, I go, the maintenance needs a ton of work. And I mentioned it to the supervisor, and she's like, oh yeah, we'll look into it. And then, nothing.
Then by his 5th job, he got another bombshell. First, the hotel is keeping the credit card numbers of the guests, which is illegal, and the woman he's working with doesn't seem fazed by that.
This is where we keep the filing for all of our guests here in the hotel. There are credit cards that we hold, and we need their credit card numbers to make the authorization.
The laws say that you can't keep credit card numbers.
Well, I'm not aware or informed of that, but...
Then when a customer comes in and calls out that the discount card isn't working properly because the staff didn't give it to her in time to apply the discounts, Steven is stunned.
I was just about to go over my bill. I thought that you might be interested in some of the discrepancies we come across.
Yeah.
First of all, there's a card that give you 10% off discounts. And there's all these items that were not discounted because they didn't present the card ahead of time.
He's so stunned that he breaks cover right in front of a customer and the other workers and lets them know that he's not happy.
With them right now and try to go through it and hopefully...
No, you're not. You're not. You're going to sit with me. I own this place. Stephen J. Klubik. I own Diamond Resorts. I'm not happy. I'm really not happy about this.
He admits on camera that this location isn't up to snuff and that things have to be done to fix it. Well, Which moments did you feel were the worst of the bunch? Most times, things don't reach this level of crazy before changes are made. Click now to see times employees were viciously fired on Undercover Boss.